2001, 2002. And then we showed it like in many different design conferences, and it received lots of awards. And one of the latest ones that it received was like being one of the best inventions of the year by Time Magazine, because they had seen it here at Wire Next Fest. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And basically it's a t-shirt that lets you send hugs over distance. So if you imagine you're here in London and your best friend is in Tokyo and you want to send him a hug, you put on the shirt, you give yourself a squeeze, and sensors in the fabric capture where you're touching, how strong and for how long, and all this data goes Bluetooth into your mobile phone and is transformed into a hug message. And when your friend back in Tokyo receives this message, it says, there is a hug for you, you want to feel it? And your friend says, yes, of course. And their shirt is going to get warm and vibrate in the same area that you touched on your shirt. So if you just give yourself a pat on the shoulder, your friend gets a pat on the shoulder. If you give yourself a whole bear hug, they're going to get a full body hug. And I think that was most difficult to do is like all these years, is that it's not that we couldn't build it, it's just that mobile phones weren't smart enough to actually have the right way of receiving our data. They were too slow or too clumsy. And also that some of the materials to build these shirts, we had to come up with. They just didn't exist. And so rather than bringing to the market a product that was full of wires and really clumsy and really uncomfortable, we just waited and waited and waited until finally, yes, success, we can actually build these. And I would have loved to bring one today, but actually we're finishing to build them for an exhibition that starts in a couple of weeks. So we don't have them yet because we're finishing to get them assembled. But I promise we'll come back and we show them to you, because it's amazing how we went from something that the first time we designed it almost looked like an American football like thing. It was like really massive, and now it's like really thin and really nice, and you can wash it. So I'm really glad that so we start to see how the materials have been evolving and what's happening with it. And another thing that we designed was this mobile phone dress. And this mobile phone dress sort of suffered of the same syndrome. And the thing that it was fun is like it's not really replacing your mobile phone. The thing that it's doing is that you just get the SIM card from your phone, you plug it into the label of your dress, and then your dress is actually a mobile phone. So it's even quad band, so you can actually make and receive phone calls everywhere. The only thing that does do is that you can answer phone calls mostly. You just receive them because you can just call one person. So you either make it a taxi or your boyfriend or someone that comes to pick you up if you are somewhere lost. And the other thing that is nice is that the antenna is actually on the hem of the skirt, so it's on your knees. So at least if you're talking on the phone and you have the microphone and the speaker is on the wrist of your dress, so when your dress rings, you go, hello, and then you can talk. And then when you release your hand down, the communication is just closed. So it's sort of like we designed the gesture interface. Ryan designed it. We programmed